Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today, Adam had the potential to win 8 in a row. If you think you can keep the dream alive, you can get the seed from the video description, and when you're ready, let's go gold stake yellow deck. First boss is hearts. In the first round, probably clubs instead of spades. We do have a chance of drawing the 10 for the straight, but I think we should discard the 7 to give us a better chance of getting the flush. We did get the 10, but we can also play an ace high flush. Chip it. Okay. First shop trading card, for sure we take. Eternal we take. Eternal rental trading card, we take it. Halvesy is also pretty strong early on. If you play a pair of face cards, that's already 500 points. We can one-shot the big blind. You could possibly one-shot the boss with maybe 3 of a kind, or maybe 3 aces. Let's go Buffoon Pack first. Give us more information. Eternal Rental Blue Joker is really strong when combined with the half Joker. So this is one of those situations where if I got this blue Joker, I wouldn't be upset about it. I think that's a recipe for success. Obviously, the riffraff is stronger, but I don't think it's wrong to, if this were something else, blue Joker here is fine. But riffraff, of course, we probably don't even need to take this halvesies. We can get something from the riffraff and just go next. Even if we miss on the riffraff, we can still do the big blind pretty easily. Alright. I can snap off the 4 and try to get a clubs flush. Maybe this is not a flush, but with 2 even cards plus 8 mult, that should win. Okay. Probably I want the wasteful voucher. If I'm using trading card, 1 discard every round, I want to get my discard back. This takes me down to 11 bucks, so probably I don't open the booster packs. We just go wasteful, go next. No consideration for these planet cards. Even the Saturn card, nah. Going into the boss, let's get rid of Crafty Joker, keeping the Molt Joker, and go next. Okay, we can snap off a 5, gives us a chance of drawing clubs as a flush. We do get the flush. Does this win? This is with the 4 mult from Steven. This does win, so I guess we could do that. Steven and Jolly, if we sell them, takes us up to 19, so we don't get extra interest. Okay. Here, Smiley Face is probably worse than Halvesies. Washbonkler also probably worse. Boss says spades are debuffed. There's also an investment tag. I think investment tag we don't take because we already have 2 value generators. So it's better for us to play it out rather than skip. We could go Arcana first, looking for Hermie. No Hermie. Could be Empress on the face cards is something that we do often. Well, not super often, but enhance the face cards, maybe. We could make a rock. In that case, let's stone the ace. I like to get rid of aces. This is something that people ask me all the time. If you want to play straights, I like to build around the central straight. So let's say jack high straights. So it makes sense to remove the outer cards. You could remove 2s instead of aces. You could remove load cards. I do that as well, but the reason why I remove the aces generally is because if I play high card, let's say you have business card, you want to play high card, you can do the face cards as high card, right? You want the kings to be your highest card, maybe. I guess this plan is worse if you find the bus, because with the bus you want to hold on to your aces. I don't know. I just always remove the aces. Alright, we can go standard pack here, maybe? Pretty sure we can afford it. Well, I don't need any of these molt cards, so we can skip. With riffraff, we can just keep halvesies and go next. To-do list on 4 of a kind, devious joker on straights. So here's an opportunity to snap off another ace, maybe. Sure. And then, can we get 4 of a kind? I think probably not. Maybe there's a chance we get kings. Maybe there's a chance we get queen. Maybe there's a chance we get the rock. So with halvesies, I guess we go play a pair of 10s. This doesn't win, but it's like 700 points. And then almost had the 4 of a kind kings, but that's okay. 3 kings is 1300. Okay. Eternal we don't need, rental we don't need. We're just gonna rely on the riffraff here. We could go Arcana again. Could be Fool for Tower is kind of fun. Another option, you could go Priestess first, and then whatever planet card you pick, you can use the Fool to copy that planet card. I think that's pretty good, but I think also making gold cards is meaningful. So let's go Gold Queen. And then get another devil. All right, maybe standard pack. Be a gold seal 7, sure. And then make room for the riffraff. Go next. Okay, zany joker. We can snap off another ace. I can dig for my 7s. Or possibly face cards. So there's some jacks. Maybe keeping the jacks. Maybe dropping the king. I have 2 7s. That doesn't win. I can play the pair of jacks. Okay. And then 3 7s wins. So I can make a gold king here. Play 3 7s and ship it. All right, in the next round, we might need a little bit of help, to be honest. This is interesting. So let's go Buffoon pack first. Rental Grimbo. Grimbo in general is less good with the trading card. It's not unusable, but it's definitely less good. Eternal Rental, probably we don't do. Golden Joker is pretty good. In the shop, there's a runner. There's a square. I think I'm keeping halvesies. I think I'm keeping Golden Joker. I think that means I don't need the riffraff anymore. We're kind of full up on Joker slots. Okay. Before I take these, we could go Celestial Pack for a little bit more information. In this case, could be Plutonium with halvesies, could be Venus. That means if we get the 3 of a kind in the next round, we can one-shot. Maybe we already one-shot with certain 3 of a kind. With trading card, we can make 3 of a kind work. All right, now are we taking runner or are we taking square here? Square is less good with halvesies, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. Runner is okay. We only need to play 1 straight per round, but that's not necessarily easy to do. We got 34 bucks here. Maybe it makes sense to re-roll and not take either of these. Maybe it makes sense to take one sort of speculatively. Okay, so would I rather square or runner? Playing straights is kind of fun, especially with the trading card to remove cards from the deck. We've removed some low cards from the deck. Maybe. Maybe runner. Go one more. Do we want the fist? For sure we want Hermie. Do we want the fist here as an eternal? That would be really safe. That would be the safe thing to do, for sure. I think we can get by without that. We could go one more here. Voucher takes me to 33. We got 2 sources of income here. let's go one more. Could be Fortune Teller's a +5, could be Constellation. Is the kind of thing that I want to have long term. Okay, so does that mean it's Constellation instead of Golden Joker? Because Golden Joker kind of strong, right? Do I need this Constellation? Probably I want this Constellation. Probably I want halvesies. The problem with halvesies is if I'm playing debuffed pairs, then I only get 500 points per pair. I get less than 500 points per pair. To beat the boss, I need to draw the stone card, or I need to get at least one 3 of a kind, which I don't know if we can get that for sure. So maybe the runner is not happening. And then maybe you go Fortune Teller instead of Zany, and then the pairs score slightly more points. And then that slightly more is enough more, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe this is greedy, keeping the Golden Joker. Okay, so I have 6s in hand, 7s in deck. We could snap off an 8. I'm looking for... Let's try to get the 7s. Let's play the 3 kings. 3 kings doesn't win, I think. Okay. Well, I could do 3 7s. I could do 2 7s plus a rock is actually stronger. If I got the 3 7, if I have the rock, I don't need this Fortune Teller. So let's do 3 7s. And then 3 kings. Alright. Slightly greedy, slightly dubious, but now we should be chilling, I think. Could be Venus again. Could be Arcana pack. This boss, diamonds are debuffed. Alright. Arcana. Temperance is 12 bucks. Could be Priestess for the constellation value. I kind of like the idea of just taking the money though. That's greedy. We can grow constellation later. I think I want go Venus here and then take the money. In that case, we could go Tarot Merchant and then reroll before opening the other Arcana pack. Could be a Vampire. Yeah, I think we pick up the Drizzler here. So no Mystic Summit. Now we have a foil. All right, foil plus halvesies. Now we are indestructible. Okay, Hermie for 20 bucks. We can probably afford, we can reroll one more. Could be the gelato. I guess that would be really safe and easy. Maybe we don't need the Drizzler if we have the constellation, but it's kind of fun to do both. So maybe perishable gelato we don't need. Maybe 7 bucks we save and reroll in the next shop. All right, I could do, since we have the foil, we don't have to do the 3 of a kind. We can snap off a 3. And then now I'm just digging for whatever my valuable cards are. I can do the 3, I'll probably do a pair of 7s here and dig for those gold cards. Let's go a pair of 7s with a rock. We don't actually get the stone card value because we got the vampire, and that's okay. We could do high card 8. There you go. Alright, gold cards in hand. Plenty of value generation. So, Earth we don't need. We just used Hermie. Check a standard pack. I could take a steel jack. Usually I'm not super interested in the steel cards, but maybe the jack with the trading card. We could do maybe 3 of a kind jacks. And then in that case, the steel card could be relevant. Taking a steel card for the vampire I think is incorrect, but I do like the idea of the jack here. Let's go, before Arcana, go reroll one more. Photograph, I think, is a little bit too cheeky. We could sell Golden Joker, we could take a photograph here, but probably not necessary to do that. Alright, 2 tarot cards upstairs. I think I'm going to go Arcana now. We did not get a Fool, we get a Wheel instead. So, Earth for the Constellation. I can make a Wild King, I guess. And try to get Holographic. Bummer. Go one more. Could be Magician. Could be Faceless is maybe even better than Golden Joker. I just don't feel like doing the work. Let's go next. Alright, so we can snap off a 2. The Steel Jack, I think I'm going to save it for later. I'm looking for maybe a pair of 7s. Maybe we go... I could do King and 7 here. If I go high card 7, that doesn't win. And then 3 kings, maybe? 3 of a kind kings is 7,000. Okay. Alright, could be a Fool for a Magician. There are better uses of a Fool, so we'll hold on to that one. Standard pack, we probably don't need a Steel 4. Arcana, reroll for tarot cards first. Could be a Devil. In that case, what's in here? Could be a Hungman. I think that's for sure what I want to do. So we can hang him. We can use a Fool for a Hungman. There is, in the shop, there's a planet card for the constellation. So let's go Gold Jack, I guess. 2s, we can hang him. And then we can hang him again. $6 here. Do we want to reroll again? Yeah, maybe one more. Get a Magician. That's big game. Alright, and I don't think we need Wily Joker. Let's go next. So now, 3 9s in hand is kind of cool, I guess. But I think it's just 9s and 4. We can hang them. Oh, I should have used the Magician first. But we can snap off the 9 and then we get to redraw 3 cards. Now, I probably want to keep the pair of 10s. That way I can use the Magician on both 10s. Maybe. So here's 2 lucky cards. The 10s. And then because of the foil on the vampire, we're chilling. I can play Gold Seal. And then that's it. So 1-7 on the Drizzler, 1-3 on the Constellation. Lovers is okay, I guess. If we had, let's say, a Fortune Teller, I wouldn't take Lovers for a Fortune Teller. I wouldn't pay $3 for 1 molt, but for the Vampire, probably we do. Get a little snack. Arcana, I think what I'm going to do, I definitely want the discard, and I probably want both of these booster packs. So let's go Celestial pack first. Pick up, could be Venus here, and then, sorry, I forgot what the boss is already. Lose money, that's a bummer. Alright, we can hang him again. For the purposes of playing 3 of a kind, I can turn the 10s into jacks. I think I'd rather just hang him, actually. Let's go Wild Jack. 8 and 3, we can hang him. And then go next. Alright, we can snap off the ace. We can keep the 7s. 3 7s. Does that one-shot? I would like to one-shot if possible. So keep the 3 7s, I I guess. There's 3 7s. Yas. Surprised we were able to keep the golden joker this long. Alright, there's strength for the 10s. There's Neptune for the constellation. Interesante. Alright, if the plan... probably certificate is best. Probably certificate gives you blue seals. Blue seals grows the constellation. Certificate gives you purple seals. Tarot cards grow the vampire. I think hit the road is kind of fun though. Maybe with trading card we can make hit the road work. We already have 5 jacks, about to be 7 jacks. Let's go drop golden joker and go arcana. Alright, we can hang him again. So let's go... I could use strength to turn 6s into 7s, and then maybe that makes it easier to get the low 3 of a kind, but I think I want to do the jacks. So let's do... how about 8 and 6? We can hang them. Instead of keeping the 6s to turn into 7s, let's go next. Save some money for the boss. Snap off the ace. I have the 10s. We can strengthen. And then we can win with a pair of 6s maybe. We can discard these jacks. I don't think it's necessary for us to hold discards. So just discard this. Let's try high card 7. Okay. So I can win with the wild jack. Okay. Against the boss here, probably high card for the win. We're up to 7 jacks out of 36 cards. There's another hungman. Do we want or need the plutonium? I guess with the constellation you do take it. And then check a standard pack. I don't think I want a gold 3. Could be Mercury here instead of there's no... can't find Venus here. Bummer. Save some money, go next. So against this boss, we could do 5 and 3. We can hang him. We can snap off a 6. And then... discard jacks. I don't necessarily need a lot of jacks. That's plenty. Alright, so we discard all these jacks. We can play high card. We can play 3 of a kind. I think 3 of a kind has a chance to one-shot, so we should do it. Okay. Looks good to me. Alright, I'm looking for an Arcana pack for another Fool. Could be Inweasable is kind of interesting. It would be bad if it hit the trading card. It would be bad if it hit the Drizzler. Otherwise, it would be hilarious. I think I'm not going to take it here. I think I need halvesies for the base molt. I think I need to keep the Drizzler for the foil. Let's go Jumbo Standard. Probably we take a blue seal 4 instead of a steel jack. Even though we're on hit the road, instead of taking a jack here, let's take a blue seal. Bummer. Alright, Spectral Pack we can reroll first. There's a baseball card. Alright, $8 takes me down to 27 or something like that. So let's go Spectral Pack. Could be Ectoplasm. Ectoplasm is interesting. It's probably meaningful. It would be difficult to get 3 of a kind if we go -1 hand size. Not impossible, just annoying. It makes hit the road worse. So I think the verdict is I just take a gold seal. Gold seal is fine. Maybe go gold seal jack, and then maybe in the future that's a card that we can copy. So baseball card instead of halvesies. Halvesies is currently plus 20, but if we have 3 uncommons, then baseball card's better. This does mean we need 3 of a kind or else we lose, but maybe that's okay. All right, I probably snap off the king here. I don't want to lose the 10s. I don't want to lose the 7s. We snap off the king. Discard the jacks. Probably discard the 10s. Okay. I can discard a jack. I can probably discard these faces. 3 7s. Okay, so with hit the road and the baseball card, I think the 3 of a kind wins. I don't think I even need to discard this last jack. So I guess let's chip it. All right. Okay. I forgot tarot cards. We just used a hungman. Okay, so looking for Arcana. Could be Tower. So Tower is fine. We can feed the vampire, maybe. Celestial pack. There's another Venus. Cryptid. Could be Gold Jack, could be Steel Jack. Is interesting. Sure. So do we want the Steel Jack? Do we want the Gold Jack? Steel makes a lot of sense since we don't have any plus mult upstairs. Maybe you want the steel cards. Sure. Do that. And go next. All right. The constellation is caught up to the vampire because we got the blue seal. We can snap off a 6. We can snap off a 9. Maybe snap off the 6. We got the 7s. Okay, so discard the jacks. And then one more time. So I have some jacks here. I do have a gold seal jack, which maybe we want to keep that. I think I discard. All right, so we have the 4 here. I can make a rock. We could do high card is not going to score as many points. Maybe. So how about a stone 4? Play high card. All right, so that's like 5,000. I potentially want to dig for the gold card. We only have 8 cards in the deck, so we have a pretty good chance of hitting it. But also I just want to score a little bit more points. 5 cards in the deck, so like 50-50 we get the gold card here. And then we play the 3 of a kind 7s. So we're at the point now, 34 cards in the deck. We can basically touch them all every round. This boss is going to be extra large. All right, so Venus is okay. Lovers for the vampire. Standard pack looking for jacks, basically. Could be, that's a fancy jack. And then spectral pack here, we could go one more time. Planet Merchant you could take for the constellation. I think if you've got the blue seal, maybe the Planet Merchant is not super important for us to do. I think I'd rather not take it and rather just keep my ability to get tarot cards. Yeah, no Planet Merchant. Spectral Pack, we can reroll once. Could be Campfire. Is very powerful, but maybe unnecessary here as a perishable. Justice doesn't work because we have the vampire, but we could sell the vampire. Could be Cryptid if you want to make more gold jacks, I guess. That puts us on 12 jacks out of 37 cards in the deck. Let's go next. So we could reroll this boss, but I think we're fine. I probably want to snap off a 4. One thing we could do, I could go lovers on the queen. I can play 5 cards first. And then that way we can keep the jacks so that we can discard the jacks. Right? I can snap off this 2. I can discard all of these jacks. That seems useful. I could discard all of these jacks. Okay, I have the 7s. We probably win. I can play a pair of 5s and then we can dig for some more jacks to discard them. Let's see here. I've got 2 hands, 1 discard. If we go 4 at a time, that's 12 cards. So if I play the pair of 5s here, then we can for sure draw the 7. I can make a glass 5, I guess. So play the pair, which doesn't win. And then we miss out on the gold seal jack. That's probably fine. I can discard the 1 jack. And then play this 3 of a kind 7s. If I play high card here, we have a chance to draw the gold card. So let's do that. And then 3 7s. There you go. Okay. Alright, Venus takes us to ×8. Seed money is interesting. Buffoon pack, Arcana pack. This boss, Serpentine, I might be concerned about that under most circumstances because, you know, with the hit the road, you can only discard. If you discard 5, you only redraw 3, which is less good, but probably we have enough jacks, it's fine. Let's go Arcana before the Buffoon pack, or maybe it doesn't matter, or maybe we don't take the Buffoon pack since we have all Eternals anyway. Alright. Arcana says Hermie instead of Emperor. Hermie means I can take seed money and then go next. Okay, so I can snap off a 5. I can discard 5 jacks. Maybe play the pair of queens. Okay, blue seal in hand. Now looking for the 7. I could play this pair of jacks without winning. Probably. Probably? Okay. And then we don't need these jacks. And then I'm concerned if I play high card, maybe the high card is worth a little bit too much. So let's just play 3 7s here. There you go. ×5 on hit the road. Cool. Alright, so the last card we used was Hermie. So let's open the Arcana pack first in case of... could be a Fool. No Fool, but we get Emperor. So I can make some bonus cards, maybe. Do I want Emperor here, or do I actually want Strength on the 10 to get more jacks? Probably more jacks. And then Celestial Pack, we can reroll once, get more Strength. Okay. So... how about a Mars card, I guess? 2-3 on Constellation, 2-1 on the Vampire. Let's go next. Hit the road. We can snap off a 5. I have 2 10s that I can turn into jacks. So let's start with the 5. Let's discard the 1 jack. I can strengthen the 110. Maybe. Maybe that's fine. Strengthen the 1 jack. And then there's some more jacks we can discard. Alright. Do we want to try to draw gold cards, probably? High card king. Now, there's only one more gold card in the deck, so we might as well just play the 3 of a kind here. Alright. We're going to hold Venus in case we get a Fool for strength. Or if we have 2 Celestial packs, then we use it. Alright, we got a nice amount of money we can reroll first. Only here we don't have room, but we can take a tower. So there's Mercury is fine. And I guess maybe 4 of a kind. Maybe. Nah, my 3 of a kind has a huge head start. Alright, so we can snap off an 8. We can start there. We can discard a bunch of steel if we want. 3 queens. So probably I play the queens instead of the 7s. One thing we could do is play high card 7. Okay. Could be play high card 3. Could be play high card 9. Alright, then now it's discard time. Alright, gold seal jack, I can turn it into a rock. I could play kings or queens, doesn't really matter. Discarding jacks doesn't really matter, so maybe we just discard the 1-7. And then I have 1 more queen in the deck. I can discard these 4 jacks. How about that? Okay, so gold seal, rock. Play the kings, I guess. There you go. Okay. The red steel card pulls a lot of weight there. Alright, 2-6 on the Constellation, 2-5 on the Vampire. Last thing we did was the tower. Alright, we just did. I should remember that. Anyway, there's a golden ticket. We cannot, because we got the Drizzler, which is better, of course. Boss says face cards are debuffed. Debuffed face cards means if the road doesn't work. Bummer. Our most played hand is 3 of a kind. So we can take a telescope here. Show me Venus. Arcana, let's go 1 more. There's a bull. Could be Empress here. I don't think we need the bull. We could go 1 more. How much is this? Handy tag is 37. All right, let's go 1 more. Okay. So Magician and Empress. Maybe we go Empress on the 7s. Maybe Magician on Jacks and Kings. Probably doesn't matter either way. Go next. So I can snap off of 4. We can start there. I can play the 7s and then end up with some jacks later. Play the 7s. Okay. 3 queens. Probably we don't play those. I could play 2 pair with the jacks as a way of just using up the gold seal. Okay. I think now all of the jacks we can discard. So let's do that. And then I've got the 7s. So I don't need these jacks. Don't need these jacks. And I can play the lucky king first. And presumably that doesn't win. Okay. Play the sevens. There we go. Maybe in the next round I should be work a little bit harder to play the jacks for the vampire. All right. So Venus here. Okay. My most played hand. High card even with 3 of a kind. That makes sense. Tower is good. Magician's okay. Standard pack. I could take a rock just for the vampire. Probably we don't do that. I have 14 jacks in the deck. That's half the deck. This stuff doesn't matter. Maybe lovers. So I can stone a 3. I can do king and jack as lucky cards. I could do a wild 7. And we could reroll once. Could be brainstorm. So I guess if I take brainstorm, maybe we don't do the vampire anymore. Or I mean, we said against the boss here, the hit the road is going to be debuffed basically. Maybe we actually... Baseball card right now is better than Constellation and Vampire, but if I sell one of these, then it gets worse. So maybe we just do that and go next. All right. So I can snap off a 9. I can play the gold cards. We don't really need to keep the gold cards, right? So let's snap off the 9. I can play a pair of queens. We could do 2 pair queens and jacks, throwing away the rock, maybe. Okay, I could do 2 pair kings, and I think I want to keep the steel jacks. I could do kings and jacks this way. We don't need this many 7s because we have more 7s left in the deck. So play the 2 pair again. All right, lucky jack I want to play. Steel jacks I want to discard. So maybe do something like that. 13 cards left in the deck. I can play a pair of jacks. 8 cards left in the deck. And then I can discard some jacks. So let's go pair the jacks. And then... Alright, so I can discard these jacks, and then steel one we can keep. We can discard one, we can keep the gold one. We can play 3 7s. So 3 4 on the vampire, 2 9 on the constellation. I can copy, hit the road, and ship it. Okay. All right, there's plutonium's okay. Bootstraps, we don't have room. Buffoon pack, this stuff is not useful. So we got a nice amount of money. We should reroll before Celestial pack. There's a baseball card again. There's a Cartomancer, a little bit too late for that, but that could have been fun. We can take a Celestial pack for Venus. And then go one more? Or we have 2 rentals. Let's just go next. All right. So the vampire is the biggest. We can copy the vampire. We can start with 3 jacks. And then maybe the 7s are not super important. Maybe play the king, remove the king. I have a 4, I have a 6, I have a 10. I think snap off the king is fine. Let's do that. We can play the jacks. We don't need this 10, and we probably don't need the 7s. Do one of those. Oh. Bummer. Alright. Constellation's catching up to the Drizzler. Could be this boss debuffed until 1 Joker sold. Alright. Standard pack, look for more jacks. No jacks, go next. Celestial pack, we have a telescope. There's a throwback. We don't have room for it. Get a magician for my vampire. Alright. And go next. So we can snap off the 4. We can play, again, we can do 2 pair jacks. So what flavor jacks do I have? I have the bonus jack, that's it. I have gold jacks, maybe. So gold jacks, we could do something like this. Play the 2 pair. Okay. We can, let's see. Probably steel jacks, we discard, we have the 7s. Now basically all we want to do is draw the blue seal. And then maybe I could play a pair of jacks here for the money. Okay. Don't need these jacks. Don't need these jacks. I guess we can keep the steel one. So gold queen is probably fine to keep, but also fine to remove. Go play the 7s. There we go. -5 on hit the road. Okay. Alright, 18, we've got strength, we got Jupiter. Strength 4, I have, let's see here, 1 more 10, and I have 1 more 6 for the strength card. Check for jacks. There's a jack we can take and then go next. Okay. So I can snap off the king. I can discard all of these jacks. There's... Maybe now we play the queen. So I could do a pair of queens this way. That's kind of a lot of points. Okay, so all of the steel jacks we discard. I didn't get the 10, that's okay. There's 6 cards left in the deck. So there we go. Still didn't get the 10. Bummer. I could hold the strength card, I guess. I think if I play the pair might win. If I play the full house might win. Awkward. So I guess, do I strengthen the 6? Nah. If it's not a jack, it's not worth my time. Okay, 4 steel cards on the deck. Okay, Celestial pack, we can pick up Venus. And then look for some tarot cards. There's a blackboard. Okay, could be a hung man. Looks inside. Fool for Venus, or we can hang him again. I could take more money, I could take more material to feed the vampire. I think maybe this 5 is not super important for us to do anymore. So maybe you could just take 40 bucks here. 7 and 5, let's hang him. Fool, we can hang him again. Maybe not right here, but we can hold on to it. Could be 20 bucks, could be magician on some jacks. Maybe it's too late for that. So I guess take the money. And then There's a devil, there's moon. 12 bucks, all right, that's it. That's all we can afford. Let's go next. One joker sold. Ah, bummer. All right, so kind of funny here. ×4 on the vampire, 3/9 on the constellation, even though we did get the blue seal, even though we have the level 20 3 of a kind. All right. Let's go get rid of the constellation. We could discard a few jacks. Keeping the steel jacks actually scores more points, so maybe that's the thing that we want to do. I only have 10 jacks in the deck, so I don't have to use all of my discards for jacks. Maybe 7s here, we hang them, we can snap off a queen. And then maybe I can play a pair of queens. Sure, do that. Okay, I keep the 7 probably. Here's a bunch of jacks I can discard probably. Okay, I can turn a 10 into a jack. I think I need to save my strength to turn a 6 into a 7, probably. I could discard 2 jacks, saving a discard for some more jacks. Trying to get the red seal. Okay, so we did get the red seal. I do have the 6 here, so we go strengthen the 6, and I have 4 cards left in the deck. I do need the 7. I can discard 2 to draw 2, but then we don't get as many jacks. So let's play high card king. That's not good. Okay, it's fine. Fine, okay. Then I guess my last jack. Ah, bummer. Only ×5 on hit the road. That's okay. Play the 3 7s here and then ship it. Okay. 16 million. Yeah, I said it earlier there. Vampire actually did a lot. Vampire showed up. Wait, which was first, Constellation or Vampire? I don't remember. We got them about the same time. They were scaling about the same. They were, I think, like ×2 at the same time. They were ×3 at the same time. At the end here, kind of ×4 at the same time. So, sort of once again, despite having 20 levels, 3 of a kind, that's a lot of planet cards, right? 20 planet cards for the Constellation, coming from the blue seal, a little bit from the blue seal, a little bit from the telescope. We had access to a lot of money, re-rolling 4 planet cards. So despite all of this, okay, Constellation is you get 0.1 per planet card, whereas the Vampire, with the tarot cards, you get 0.2 per tarot card. Not every tarot card, but half of the tarot cards give you 0.2. Maybe not half of them, like maybe a quarter of them or something like that. Yeah, I mean, the main drawback of the Vampire is you can still do steel cards, you can still do gold cards, but maybe you miss out on the ability to do lucky cards. We did suck up a lot of lucky cards, and so maybe that could have been some money, not necessarily points, but usually money. I think about lucky cards. You miss out on the ability to do glass cards, but maybe glass cards are not always super important. That's fine. Hit the road here, we got the ×5. Part of that is we got extra discards. One of these discards allocated to doing the trading card. So in the beginning, okay, we got the 1 extra discard, and we have 2 discards left over to do hit the road. We got up to like ×3 pretty consistently. And then we get the extra discard, and then now we're getting hit the road up to ×5 relatively consistently. So like even just on ×2 or even just on ×3, hit the road is not super powerful in my opinion, but underrated still. The difficulty with hit the road is, what if I'm discarding my jacks, what is the hand that I'm trying to play? If I want to play 4 of a kind, for example, then if I discard all my jacks, how am I playing 4 of a kind? Then I'm forced to keep my jacks in hand. So Hit the Road works if you are able to discard all the jacks and then build around some lower ranking hand like high card or pair. Three of a Kind is harder to do, but maybe fine if you have a trading card. If you have fewer cards in your deck, you just draw your jacks more often. 15 jacks out of 24 cards, maybe. That was alright. That was fun. What was the... Oh. Yeah, this was the run where we had the riffraff, we got it was half Joker, and then it was zany Joker, so like the scaling plus mult Joker, sort of the backbone of most runs. That was a little bit missing for us. We did have the opportunity to pick up a runner or a square, and maybe that was a little bit too late. Maybe we were a little bit invested in being able to do half Joker with the three of a kind. But trading card just covers a world of hurt, both as a money generator and then also the ability to clean up your deck and build whatever you want. Take care, everyone.